The twin suns of Zareth Prime blazed overhead as the colony expedition vehicle rumbled across the crystalline dunes. Leo gripped the steering controls, his eyes scanning the horizon through the reinforced viewscreen. 3 years into humanity's first extrasolar colonization effort, and the planet still managed to surprise him daily. Another 17 kilometers to the water extraction site. Anna's voice crackled through the comm system from the passenger seat. She was reviewing geological surveys on her datapad, her brow furrowed in concentration. We should reach it before the thermal peak. Leo nodded, adjusting their trajectory to avoid a particularly treacherous slope. That's when he saw it, a small pale shape huddled against a rock formation barely distinguishable from the sand itself. "Hold on," he said, bringing the vehicle to a halt. "There's something out there." Anna looked up, following his gaze. "Leo, we're on a schedule. Command wants those samples by, just give me a minute." He was already unsealing the cabin door, reaching for his environment suit's helmet. Anna sighed but didn't argue further. She knew that look in his eyes. The same stubborn determination that had gotten them through the collapse back on Earth, when resources were scarce, and hope even scarcer. It was the look that said some things mattered more than schedules. The heat hit Leo like a physical wall as he stepped onto the sand, even through his suit's climate controls. Zareth's atmosphere was breathable but brutal, with temperatures that could cook unprotected flesh in minutes. He approached the small form carefully, unsure what he was dealing with. It was alive, barely. The creature was no larger than a human infant, with 6 limbs folded beneath a translucent, scale-covered body. Its skin was pure white, albino, Leo realized, and its large, multifaceted eyes tracked his movement with what seemed like resigned terror. The most striking feature was the pair of membranous wings tucked against its back, gossamer thin and trembling. "Anna, I need the xenobiology scanner," Leo called back to the vehicle. Within moments, Anna was beside him, equipment in hand. Her expression shifted from annoyance to concern as she saw the creature. "Is that a Zarethi juvenile? I thought they only inhabited the polar regions." "They do," Leo confirmed, having studied the native species extensively during their training. "This one's been abandoned. See the claw marks in the sand? The colony rejected it." Anna ran the scanner over the hatchling, her face growing somber. "It's severely dehydrated and malnourished. The albinism probably made it a target. In Zarethi culture, abnormalities are seen as bad omens. They leave defective hatchlings to die in the desert." "That's barbaric," Leo muttered, though he knew humanity had its own dark history with the different and disabled. "That's nature on this planet. Survival of the fittest." Anna stood, dusting sand from her knees. "Leo, we can't interfere. The non-intervention protocols are clear. We're here to observe and coexist, not to what? Not to show compassion? Not to prove we're better than our worst instincts?" Leo carefully scooped the hatchling into his arms. It let out a weak whistling sound but didn't struggle. "Anna, we left Earth because we nearly destroyed ourselves with that kind of thinking. Not our problem. Not our species. Not our concern. Look where that got us." Anna was quiet for a long moment, her jaw tight. Then she exhaled slowly. "Command is going to have our heads for this. Let them try." Leo was already heading back to the vehicle, cradling the fragile creature against his chest. "We didn't survive the collapse just to become the kind of people who walk past suffering because it's inconvenient." Back in the vehicle, they converted the sample storage chamber into a makeshift incubation unit. Anna mixed a nutrient solution based on the scanner's analysis of Zarethi biology, while Leo carefully placed the hatchling inside, adjusting temperature and humidity controls. "Its core temperature is stabilizing," Anna reported, monitoring the readings. "But Leo, even if we save it, what then? We can't just keep a sentient alien as a pet. We'll figure it out." Leo watched as the hatchling's eyes began to regain some clarity, its breathing becoming less labored. "Maybe there's a colony that will accept it. Maybe we can establish a sanctuary. Maybe you're impossibly optimistic," Anna said, but there was warmth in her voice now. "It's one of your more infuriating qualities. Someone has to be." Leo smiled at her. "Remember what we used to say during the collapse? Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our weapons. It's our refusal to accept hopelessness." 3 days later, the hatchling, whom they'd begun calling Ghost for its pale coloring, was thriving. It responded to their voices, learned to accept the nutrient solution eagerly, and even attempted its first flights within the confines of the vehicle's cargo bay. The transformation was remarkable, but the real surprise came when they finally reached the polar Zarethi settlement to deliver diplomatic messages. As they approached in their vehicle, a crowd of the crystalline aliens gathered, their compound eyes reflecting curiosity and, from some, hostility. Then an elder Zarethi stepped forward, its scales bearing the marks of great age. Through the translation device it spoke, "You carry our rejected one, why?" Leo stood tall, Ghost perched on his shoulder, its tiny claws gripping gently. "Because every life has value. Because compassion isn't weakness. Because we believe the measure of a civilization isn't how it treats its strongest, but how it treats its most vulnerable." The elder was silent, its antennae quivering. Finally, it spoke again, and its words would change human-Zarethi relations forever. "We have watched your species since you arrived. We deemed you another predator race, dangerous and unpredictable. But this changes things. A species that would save what we discarded. Perhaps there is more to humanity than we understood." Anna squeezed Leo's hand as Ghost chirped contentedly, its white wings catching the light of the twin suns. "Sometimes, the most human thing you could do was care when it would have been easier not to, and sometimes that was enough to change the galaxy."